Welcome in, hockey fans in the Southwest. As you can see behind us, this is Henderson, Nevada. This is Paul Hornsey, my co-host from New York. It's here, Nevada style. Spent the last couple of days, Paul, looking at an AHL franchise, a brand new one. Your thoughts on, first of all, this beautiful facility, Lifeguard Arena. What did you think when you came in?
It's great. I mean, anytime you can walk into a brand spanking new building, you kind of get a little bit of a chill, like, wow, this is really nice, this is really good. And you sit there and you're like, what are they going to do to top it next?
Right.
I mean, especially here with this franchise that has tried to top themselves every time they do something. They have a separate place for the NHL franchise. They have a separate place here for the AHL franchise. And what I like over these first 2 days is you can obviously tell that these guys are happy to be back on the ice. Yeah. The enthusiasm in practice, which you always have in the first practice, but here you are in the second practice and they're just as into it. I know that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it matters because these guys have been doing this for how long? Practice is the monotony part. It's easy to get up for the games, but practice is on the other hand, and these guys are loud and they're boisterous, and it's really nice to see. And they're going at each other as hard as you would think they do or they would in a practice, and that matters, and the coaches have to be happy when they see stuff like that too.
Okay, so we know the facility is first class. We know that the coaching staff is first class. The players that come in, though, especially at the AHL level, it's not like the NHL where you got your teammates, you're pretty much there for most of the time with that same group of guys. There's a trade here and there, whatever, or an injury, but you mostly have the same guys. In the AHL, these guys are trying to earn their way to the NHL. So these guys may come in like they did here from all over the place, including the Canadian World Junior team. But now they got to mend and blend as a team to try to win games, but yet still develop and earn that spot in the National Hockey League roster.
Well, that's the trick of the minor leagues, though, isn't it?
Yes.
You have to blend a team of guys that are trying to take each other's jobs from them. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Yet being able to show the commitment to be a teammate and to be a good teammate also factors in to organizational decisions.
Yes.
They don't want me guys, they want we guys.
Right.
And this is where that has to start. And they also want guys, obviously, that are ready to slot right in when they bring them up to the NHL, because they've been doing the same things on the AHL level and to a certain extent on the ECHL level, where they're trying to learn how to be a member of that organization from day one, even if it's not at the NHL level. And there's some guys here that probably would be in the NHL if they were in a different organization. But that's the way it is, right? I mean, that's the business of sports, is that you have to sometimes wait your turn.
Well, this is day 2 of training camp. We're fortunate enough to be here courtesy of the Vegas Golden Knights and the Henderson Silver Knights, so we want to give a shout out to them and thank them for that opportunity. But the season doesn't actually start for these guys for another half a month, and I think February 5th is the actual start date. So they're trying to develop, but they also know that their parent team is playing games just 30 miles down the road in T-Mobile Arena. So what's it like, you suppose, for a guy right now that's going through practice and watching these other guys play, but knowing he's got to wait a month?
Well, first of all, they have to practice because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Somebody gets hurt, right?
Yep.
There's a spot. Even though this year the NHL has taxi squads, you still have to be ready in case somebody says, hey, let's go. Get in your car and come over here, and you better be ready. Even if you're not necessarily going to play right away, when they call you, you better be ready to do the things you have to do. So while they don't have to play games for 2 weeks, they have to prepare like they have a game tomorrow.
Okay, let's take a quick break, and let's come right back and talk about who we just saw walk by us a couple times. Kelly McCrimmon was here taking a look, and we'll get a a little in-depth look at this roster and see what they have. We'll be right back in about 1 minute.
Okay.
Well, welcome back in, hockey fans. We are still here at the beautiful Silver Knights Arena. As you can see, the other side, the other rink, is the Golden Knights rink, all part of Lifeguard Arena.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they're gonna think it's important for you to get that part in there.
Lifeguard Arena with two rinks, the Golden Knights rink, the Silver Knights rink, branding everywhere. The place is fantastic. They've done a great job building it up. Paul, one of the things in AHL hockey and NHL hockey is very seldom do you get your two franchises within the same city, within 20, 30 miles of each other. You've seen Golden Knights facility at City National. Now we're in Henderson, just a few miles apart. We saw Kelly McCrimmon walk through today. I know that's the master plan, but just how important do you think that is for a general manager to be able to see both of his rosters, in a 20-minute drive?
Well, I think that's very much become the trend in all of sports, where teams want their farm teams much closer for evaluation purposes, for roster purposes, for injury purposes. As you see, the Golden Knights, like I said, they have their two teams basically within a half-hour car ride. Their buddies up in San Jose have their both teams basically in the same building. If you watch it in baseball, whether you agree with the fact that they have detracted some of the minor league teams or contracted some of the minor league teams, they've all kind of moved around so that they could be all within an area, which is not that far or not that much of travel if they need to move guys around. So, and this being literally so close, I mean, it's not the same. I mean, this is it can only help the organization. The fact that they have the depth in the organization to have some of their higher draft picks here playing for the Silver Knights makes a difference too, because those are the guys that everybody wants to see. I think you'll also agree that it has a lot to do with that secondary guy, yes, and watching those guys develop and making it easier for you to scout other teams when they come into play. Yeah. Okay, true. Because if the GM, if Kelly McCrimmon wants to watch certain prospects, they're going to be here, right? And he doesn't have to get on a plane to go do it. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I get your point. It's important. The other thing that we talked about with the Silver Knights is playing in a bus league now, basically for AHL hockey. Right? They can go to San Diego. They can go to Tucson. They can go to Bakersfield. They can go to wherever they need to go to play competition. So the expenses is way down, right, but also the travel time is way down. Yes, you're not having to fly, get your airplane legs back and play a hockey game. You can hop on a bus. I don't think the Silver Knights are going to Bridgeport to play a whole lot of games against the Islander farm team. So that makes a difference. They've kind of aligned it up now where the AHL has that Western Division. I mean, they've done it for a couple of years now, and it's just going to get bigger next year when they add Palm Springs with Seattle's team. So all of these things, they develop rivalries. They develop, they're more business savvy. It's better for organizations to keep closer tabs on it. So you're in a situation where they get to do more with less. I hate that expression, but that's really what they're doing, right? Yeah. They get to do more, not necessarily with less, but for less.
That's a good point, for less. So when we looked at this roster, and it's really hard to tell, you'll see on the video, folks, that there's netting up around here. We're allowed to be in a certain spot, so we can't get down to the glass. No numbers on jerseys, so we're not really sure. The only numbers we can see and identifiers are on the helmets. But Paul, from what you've seen so far, from what you've seen of this group so far, we started the goaltenders. Logan Thompson, I thought, has been really good. He's been in front of us most of the time.
Yeah, the goalies have looked really good, and it's always fun to watch a goalie try to break in new equipment. Ferguson down behind us there, trying to break in. It looks like a brand new glove because it is bright white, especially compared to, you know, the other side where the glove looks Dylan. It looks a little. I hate to use the word dingy, but compared to Brad, used. I mean, compared to what it looks like, Ferguson's glove it looks like it almost blinds you when you look at it. It's so bright white.
Well, this team does have young goaltenders. They've got a lot of young offense. They've got a little bit of seasoned offense mixed in. You think of Reed Duke, and I thought Reed is really taking control. I will be shocked if he doesn't wear a C. Also on the defensive side, Jimmy Schultz from St. Cloud State. We know what Jimmy's had his taste a little bit with the Golden Knights last year, but
yeah, right. Once again, you have guys that are, you know, they're you know, they have the ability. And sometimes not sometimes, all the time, it's a numbers game.
Yes.
You know, and if they were in an organization that didn't have as much talent at the top level that they have, these guys would probably be in the National Hockey League.
Right.
You know, if they were playing for if they were in the Ottawa Senators organization, they'd be playing in National Hockey League.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so these things all make a difference, and you know, at least they come here, they get a first-class experience. And, you know, there are some minor league cities and some minor league facilities that are, for lack of a better term, minor league.
Yeah, when you look right here in Henderson, and we'll kind of wrap it up on that note, but I know you haven't had a chance to go through the locker room like I did a few months ago. When you see the locker room and you see the amount of time and effort they put into not only the weight room, the training room, nutrition, the ability and accountability. I mean, when we took the tour, Kerry Boobles, the president of the Vegas Golden Knights, kept telling us the reason we built it with all this glass around the building is we think visibility leads to accountability, whether it's a training room, the nutrition room, wherever it is, the locker room. So everybody sees everybody all the time. There's no place to hide, is what I'm saying in this place. Manny Viveros.
No place to hide on the ice either.
Yeah. Manny Viveros, the new head coach here, the inaugural head coach for the Henderson Silver Knights. I had a chance to visit with him a couple of months ago as well when all this was going. He's excited to see what he does. He knows as a minor league coach he's got a blend between winning and developing. So I think that's all anything that you would expect. The one thing I do know with Vegas, and you've had a chance to see it for yourself, is that it's new, it's exciting, it's first class, top to bottom. It doesn't matter where you go.
No, 100%. I mean, if you're going to do it, if you're not going to do it right, why do it at all?
Folks, I got to leave it on that note. If you're going to do it and you're not going to do it right, why do it at all? Paul Hornstein, thanks for joining me here at the beautiful Lifeguard Arena in Henderson, Nevada. Hope you enjoyed the preview. We're looking forward to seeing them on the ice, which, of course, this year and next year will be at the Orleans Arena before they move into that beautiful facility that we saw the Raptors on the other day over at the Henderson Pavilion.
Always like to see new buildings go up.
Absolutely.